everybody, and welcome to another Nephilim build. Today we're going to get our grind on as Sunraku from Shangri-La Frontier. As always, keep in mind that these videos are about capturing the spirit of the character rather than capturing their abilities perfectly. With that said, let's start with ability scores. Using the standard pointer array, put the 15 to dexterity. He's running a high-speed dual blade build. Man after my own heart. Up next we'll put the 14 to intelligence. He's a master of game strategy and patch exploitation. After that, the 13 in wisdom, insight, and perception are an important part of gaming. We'll put the 12 into charisma. It's hard not to relate to him, and then the 10 to strength. Lastly, with dumb constitution, Sunraku likes high risk, high reward. Plus, where the anime currently is, which is what I'm watching, he still only has 55 HP despite being level 99. Pretty sure this guy would do a naked soul level 1 run in Elden Ring as his first run. For species, Sunraku is a human both IRL and in-game. The bird head is just a mask, but if you want to go for Kenku, I won't blame you. But get resourceful, pick Arcana, and take the Savage Attacker feat. These are the throwaway perks for if you take Kenku instead. Everything after this is necessary. We'll make a custom background putting our increases into intelligence and dexterity. We'll take insight and perception, the lucky feat, and painter supplies. You know, for giggles. Moving on to class, we're going to start off as a rogue. We'll get dexterity, intelligence, saving throws, and take athletics, acrobatics, sleight of hand, and investigation for skills. We'll also be proficient with light armor, rogue weapons, and thieves' tools. At level 1, we'll get sneak attack, thieves' cant, and expertise in athletics and acrobatics. We'll also get weapon mastery, taking scimitars for the naked property. At level 2, we'll get cunning action, and at level 3, we'll get steady aim and our roguish archetype. We're going to take swashbuckler, getting fancy footwork and rackish audacity. Sunraku loves running the ones. At level 4, we'll take the defensive duelist feat, bumping dexterity. I didn't realize that the AC boost lasts until your next turn now, which means it actually becomes better than shield eventually. We're now going to multi-class to wizard, getting ritual adept and arcane recovery. We'll also get 3 cantrips, taking blade ward to fill the slot, prestidigitation for effects, and true strike for glowing pierce. Real quick, Sunraku has a lot of skills that are just stronger versions of skills he had earlier. I'm not naming them all, I'm just going to name the ones that I think sound cool. And I will be using dub names if I can remember them. And on that note, wiki writers, add the dub names, quit being sub-only elitist pricks. We'll also start off with 4 spells. We'll take Longstrider for speed, Jump for Shana-O Incarnate, and Mage Armor for AC. I'll also take Find Familiar to get Emil. Just for show though, we can't give her spells. At level 2 we'll get Scholar, Expertising Investigation. It takes a sharp eye to spot how some of these buff combos and exploits work. We'll also take Featherfall because what is fall damage? At level 3 we'll get our Arcane Tradition, taking Blade Singing for performance and Blade Song. We'll also take Spider Climb for Gravity 0. At level 4 we'll take the Dual Wield feat, rounding dexterity. We'll also take Friends to fill the slot and Rope Trick to hide in the inventory. At level 5 we'll get Memorize Spell and take Haste for Excel. We'll also take Mirror Image for Skatefoot. I almost missed the detail that this one gives after images. At level 6 we'll get the Blade Singer Extra Attack and take Sending to Message Our Bros. Back to Rogue, at level 5 we'll get Cunning Strike and Uncanny Dodge. At level 6 we'll get Expertise in Insight and Perception, at level 7 we'll get Evasion and Reliable Talent. Back to Wizard, at level 7 we'll take Spirit Shroud from Tasha's for Hand of Fortune. At level 8 we'll cap our Dexterity and take Arcane Vigor for some potions. This is mostly to fill the slot. At level 9 we'll take Mislead for Waning Mirror and Steel Wind Strike for Boundless Massacre. At level 10 we'll get Song of Defense and take Shocking Grasp for Shock Fist. We'll exclusively use this with Spirit Shroud, Hand of Fortune for Argot Lamp, because apparently that's the only time he uses it. By the way, I'm not going to be covering Levin Hazard. The wiki is very unclear about what Levin does, and there is nothing that I know of in 5e that can replicate Hazard. Also, I could not figure out Giltabril. If you know something, please let me know. We'll also take Enhance Ability for Superhuman Feats. At level 11, we'll take Tensor's Transformation from Xanathar's for Overheat. At Wizard and Rogue levels 12 and 8, we'll take the boons of Combat Prowess and Irresistible Offense over Clocking Dexterity. Now that we're level 20, we finally have our modifiers. Our AC with Mage Armor is 19, which becomes 22 with Blade Song, 24 with Haste, and 30 with Defensive Duelist. Our movement speed is 30, and our average HP is 71 with 8d8 and 12d6 hit dice. And with that, we are done. Now what can this build do? To start, we are ridiculously hard to hit with a great base AC that we can boost to absurd heights. And for any nat 20s or any other damage that slips by, we can reduce it with Song of Defense. We're also a pretty solid fighter with 4 attacks per turn that we can boost with Spirit Shroud, or 5 if we haste. Though personally, I think I'd rather upcast Spirit Shroud for 8d8 damage per turn. Or better yet, pop Tensors for 8d12. That's the equivalent of 2 fireballs worth of damage. For weaknesses, if a spellcaster with Power Word kills so much as looks at us, we're done for. That's the price for character accuracy, though I think Sunraku would be okay with that. We also have no ranged attacks, so any pooping birds are gonna be a pain. Another way we're accurate. I'll also be burning through spell slots pretty quickly, reducing any stray damage. Weaknesses aside, our vorpal soul is burning hot. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you'd like to support my channel, there's a link to my Patreon down in the description. $1 a month gets you 2-day early access to my videos and access to all my homebrew content. Let me know what you thought of this video down in the comments, and I'll see you all next time when I make the Doom Slayer from Doom.